Hey Techies, welcome you all to the Unwritten Lessons, a podcast where the unwritten stories and the tech's hidden secrets are coming out alive. Presented by Yantriksha X Hub. I am Sahithi, your host. Today, we're diving deep into the knowledge that's never written in any textbook, but is crucial for us to live in today's tech world. So let's get into it. In today's episode, we have Dr. Arvind AR, who is greatly experienced in the product planning and the cost engineering. Sir has a great record of shaking things up at big companies and has done many projects that are literally changing the game. And we're about to hear what makes them unique. We welcome you, sir, and we are delighted to have you here.
Thank you, Club Excentra and Club X, as I passionately address you all. Primarily, I would like to thank Dr. Chandrakumar sir, who was instrumental in encouraging all these initiatives. Professor Shivkumar, Dr. Muttarasan, who have been the pillar of support for establishing this club in the first place and engaging with industry mentors like us to support you students on the long term. Thank you very much for hosting me, and let's have a wonderful show this time.
It's our pleasure to have you here, sir. We are grateful to be mentored by you as we are learning a lot from you. So, can you give us a short note about your journey from childhood to your profession and why did you choose it?
That is a very, very interesting question to answer. In fact, I have always been a city-bred boy from my childhood days. And from my schooling onwards, I used to manufacture and sell sculpted, scented candles. So you can imagine way back when I was in my 8th standard onwards. Subsequently, 12th came and I passed my 12th. There was a gestation period of a month or two, during which time I learned how to assemble and sell desktop computers way back in the year 1993, where Windows 3.1 was just off and 95 was in the market. So I used to assemble and sell 80386, 803, processor desktop PCs into the open market and had a clientele base of around 100 people. And the pocket money really helped me out during my college year days. So therefore, problem solving, experimentation, excited me and made me into who I am today. So that's how it boiled out.
So, how did you choose your profession?
The profession choosing is an excitement where that point in time, the companies came for a recruitment. And as has been a dream of any mechanical engineer, not only me, we always aspire to join a manufacturing company. So it came as a boon when they came for campus recruitments, and automotive still even excited me further because that is one arena where manufacturing gives you an opportunity to problem solve, to experiment, and it excites me a lot more. So therefore, I embarked on this journey. So that has been my way forward.
It's grateful to hear, sir. So, what are some personal traits or habits that helped you to thrive in such a competitive space?
When we talk of personal habits per se, this is something universal to every leader. If you observe them a little closely, you will observe that they are all self-disciplined, self-focused discipline. When you're self-disciplined, it brings in focus. Focus helps you to achieve a lot many things which otherwise you fail to achieve. So one thing which I follow religiously, systematically is a self-imposed discipline.
So, how do you cope up with the pressure and maintain to stay focused on what you're concentrating on?
Very, very valid point in this current era of distractions. So one has to be avoid of distraction to bring in focus and clarity. But at the same time, I'm not saying I'm not on social media. There are multiple social media distractions like Facebook, Insta, WhatsApp in today's connected world. However, I'm restricting myself as a disciplined individual to only LinkedIn as a social media platform where I have more than 30,000 followers who are diligently following me with my post and connections. So that is how I am able to focus and get more out of a 24-hour workday.
So, we are eager to hear some of the insider tips, like about what mindset a student should maintain.
For a student, the most critical mindset which I've come across in the dictionary is the terminology called impossible, which excites me and kicks me a lot. The reason being, the possibility lies within the word in the alphabet I. An attitude which today's youngsters should adopt, and be flexible enough to take on the real world challenges as it gets unfurled one layer at a time like an onion peel. So that is the most important attitude. Never give up.
You're absolutely correct, sir. Like, we'll try to adapt it. And, sir, can you tell us what do you think about the upcoming technologies and how can students and the other professionals can get adapt to it?
Technology is evolving at a very, very rapid pace, and now it is exponential in nature. Looking into the future, there is a terminology called teleportation, which is a science fiction terminology. Slowly, the entire world is evolving towards that technology, is what I could observe. The reason being, human beings are social animals. They tend to move around. They tend to create new civilizations, new space. As the current cities becomes dense, they tend to move to new cities, new worlds, new planets to conquer, in which a case teleportation becomes a necessity for terraformation. So therefore, this technology, in my perspective, is the future.
Okay, sir. So, was there any game changing point in your life from where you learned a very big lesson out of it?
Game changing, yes, lot of game changings are there. However, I would like to specifically give you this one specific story. Uh, Imagine washing machine, which is there in your households, where you wash your clothes. Why do we wash our clothes? It is to bring in cleanliness to what we wear. In a similar parlance, in an industrial setting, we have industrial part washing machines. The sump capacities range somewhere, minimum sump capacity was 1000 liters to 10,000 liters. Now, those industrial part washers, when they wash the components, the dirt and debris, along with the tramp oil, get separated. The debris and the dirt, since they are physical in nature, we can always filter them. However, tramp oil, because the base is washing fluid, this is also a liquid. So it is very difficult to filter them out. For 3 years, my seniors used to struggle a lot. This I'm talking about way back in the year 2001. They used to struggle a lot and trying to find out a right fit solution for this. They were not successful. So I also embarked on this journey. We have multiple products in the market: disc skimmers, belt skimmers, coalizers, like that. However, these products were not able to give a efficiency of more than 10%. So therefore, I took it on myself and did my own research. I researched for 6 months nearly. What I learned was, all my research, I'm only doing it in a focused manner. However, this required researching alternatives. So therefore, I enlarged my research area to look for larger things. How is an oil spill in an ocean being addressed? So I look for those equipments, then find out which is the minimum scale of that equipment which can fit the requirement. To my surprise, the minimum most level was 10 lakh liters, which is used to clean a swimming pool. However, this is a requirement on an industrial scale, which is a small scale level, 10,000 liters. So I took that initiative of contacting that person way back in 2003. I faxed him and then got a sample of the product, miniaturized the product, fitted it on the washing machine. This entire trials and failures went on for a period of 1 year, only to observe at the end of first year, I was able to get an efficiency of 97% against the market-ready products which are having an efficiency of 10%. So the maintenance manager at that point in time invited me to his office. He had a Coca-Cola bottle filled with the fluid. Then he said, "Arvind, this is the filtered tramp oil. You can see it is 97% filtering efficiency is obtained." So despite the failures, despite the roadblocks, despite the people coming back and say, "No, you're going to fail," persistently, sustainably, I pursued this particular concept, which ultimately paid result. So the learnings which I got was, never give up on the face of it.
It's amazing to hear a part of your history, sir. So, can you know how do you update yourself when there's a new technology in your industry?
It is very, very, very simple for me to update myself to the fact I'm getting myself engaged with students like you, the younger generation. I tend to conduct knowledge sharing sessions where I connect with the youngsters like you who really inspire me. And in the process, I learn from you. So, therefore, I'm always connected with you guys. I conduct seminars, conduct symposiums, I mentor startups. So, these are the venues through which I stay updated as well as I'm able to contribute to your benefit.
Yes, sir. We're thankful for your contribution, sir. And who do you see as your inspiration till here, sir, throughout your journey?
Throughout my journey, if I were to take uh, Professor Abdul Kalam, Dr. Abdul Kalam has been my role model and inspiration. Through his book called The Wings of Fire, the moment I had read it, the number of challenges which he has encountered, there have been instances where he has never been permitted to go and step inside certain facilities. However, at the end of the day, we have been benchmarked, Indians have been benchmarked in creating world-class facilities which others are now wanting to copy. So he has been my role model all along.
So, a small question about the future. Like the technologies in the world are changing day by day. How do you think the world is going to change in the future? And what do you think will be the next big innovation?
As I pointed out earlier, the next big innovation is going to be the teleportation and warp drive industry, which helps you to propel forward in new space age technologies. So those are the areas which are going to hamper or impact as we move along into the future.
So, as we know, a famous scientist Edison has went through so many failures. Were there any such failures in your life or your career? Can you share them with us?
As I recollected, failures are part of life. As Zig Ziglar's has mentioned, uh, when the going gets tough, it is the tough which keeps going. So, multiple failures are the lessons learnt and the stepping stones on which a successful career or foundation is built. And mine is no exception. There have been lots of failures. I attempted to do my part time engineering in Anna University. I could not complete it for various reasons, but that never stopped me from doing my higher studies in Bitsbilani, subsequently completing my PhD in Hindustan University, where my PhD and research work was turned down at 12 universities, stating that the masters which I have done is not recognized. So, failures are the stepping stones for success. And today, as a subject matter expert, I have been the go-to person where people come and ask me, not only within the organization, but also from my friend circle, as to how to mitigate failures and overcome.
So, what are your hobbies? Like, what do you do in your free time?
The hobbies is one which defines your character. As a problem solver, I always like to experiment multiple things. Gardening is my favorite hobby, where I experiment with not only different types of soil mixtures, with artificial fertilizers, with natural composites, biodegradable composites, carbon-based soil, carbon-less soil, aeroponics, hydroponics, to name a few. So through this, I get my hands dirty and it gives me an opportunity to experiment. Having said so, the same thing applies to my career as well. Whenever I'm confronted with a challenging situation or a problem, the first thing what I do is go to the work spot, which we call it as the Gemba. Put myself hands dirty. So therefore, I get the actual picture at hand, which helps me to problem solve. So this is my value add for this podcast.
So, what do you think is most important for a student? The core skills or the extracurricular skills?
For a student to learn, he in this ever changing scenario, he has to be little multi-skilled. The most important thing is the impossible, the I am possible, I factor, the attitude, which is the most important skill which an individual should have. The never give up attitude is what is going to propel him for completion. And the motivation portion of it, definitely there will be certain areas where he would come across hurdles and he will get dejected as a student. So therefore, it is in those areas where I sincerely advise the students to read a book called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. It tells you to stay motivated, self-motivated at all times. So a lot of good tips are available on those books. So as students, continuously you have to learn. When we learn, we gain knowledge. When we put those gained knowledge into application, we become a wise person. So the wisdom is one which is very vital and sought over, which cannot be replaced by artificial intelligence. So it is the actual intelligence of an individual which will spiral you towards your career and aspirations.
So, what are your views on innovations and startups? Do you think it will be a groundbreaking trend? And is it okay for the college students to initiate startups?
Startups are the bloodline of our economy. Definitely every student should target startup, not only at the collegiate level. In fact, it will be great if the government could give a relaxation to start it at the school level onwards. More the number of startups, more the innovations will come. Having said so, I would like to caution again. A startup entrepreneur is one person who has to take care of multiple facets of the business. For example, marketing, sales, service, production, operations, quality, name it. All the functions of an organization has to be handled by a startup individual. However, the training for conducting such a massive complex organization structure setup in a miniature format is not there in any of the curriculums today. So therefore, my request for the academia is to inculcate a simulation exercises which can modulate and train the next generation of students in startups so that our country and economy can go to the next level.
Sir, as you've been a part of many game changing projects, can you give some suggestions to the budding startups that are growing?
As a startup entrepreneur, the journey is never a smooth sail. There will be a lot of ups and downs. So persistence, sustenance is the key. Never ever give up on your idea. Never ever give up on your dream. Probably because of a technology limitation, today it may hit a roadblock. Today it may hit a standstill stage. However, continue to pursue it along with a bunch of other ideas as well. So that even if one idea hits a roadblock, the other ideas are able to take you forward and help you to sustain. So never give up on anything which you have come across as a roadblock.
So, what do you think about the role of Yantriksha X Hub in building the startups?
Yantriksha X Club is an excellent initiative, as I passionately address them as XHub members. For the college, it is most vital. You may ask me why. There are interested students who would like to uh, generate startups, but their platform to do that is lagging. It is where the XHub comes as a connecting bridge between an idea-less category to a full finished startup in a preliminary stage, which further can go ahead into a mature stage. So it is primarily a bridge between two ends. So that is where I feel personally the XHub has got a greater role to play in startups. Many of the other colleges are doing it, but the complex problem of forming a club has been beautifully addressed by the XHub students. My compliments to you guys.
Thank you, sir. So, how do you think interdisciplinary skills will play a major role in building the projects and startups?
Today, when a project is started, probably a function-based specialist is assigned to the project, and like a horse, it gets converged into that particular function alone. However, the real-world challenges require multi-skills, multidisciplinary approach to productize a concept or an idea. So, towards productization, multi-skill disciplinary approach is a must.
Okay, sir. So, what do you think about the concept of Yantriksha X Hub -1, 0, and 1? How do you think it will help the students?
It is an excellent concept wherein you have -1 is without idea but an aspiration to do something. One is converting an aspiration into an idea. zero stage, and from zero, converting an idea into reality, which is one. So, in fact, this is where the SRASS and the other faculty members of an academia should partner as hand in glove, guiding the students, carving out those students from -1 stage, hand holding them to zero, and zero to +1. That is where the mentors, industrial mentors, have got a greater role to play in productizing them. It's a beautiful concept by XHub, and I wish all of you guys all the very best to take it up to the next level. And more importantly, as an industry mentor, I have set myself a target to guide students to publish at least 1,000 papers.
We're grateful for your contribution, sir. So, what advices would you give the students to balance their theoretical knowledge with the hands-on experience?
A very valid point. In fact, what I suggest is, guys, jump into the pool if you want to learn swimming. There's no other alternate advice which I can give. The only reason is, only when you jump in, you'll come across something known as an unknown unknown. Try to convert an unknown unknown into a known unknown, which is part of the Johari window. So this is where the industrial mentor and taking support from external agencies will help you guide, shape to what you would like to attain.
So, what's an innovation or an initiative project that you're currently working on?
Currently, I am, as a passion, I'm mentoring a lot of students via knowledge sharing sessions. I conduct some training sessions for the specialized one-on-one, and I help them also in establishing startups. So the aim is to publish 1,000 papers along with the students, and in the course, if any patents are coming, help them out with the patents as well. So this has been my passion so far.
So, where do you see the biggest opportunities for the students entering into the tech world in the next 5 years?
The technology is always evolving. So therefore, as a student, we have to be aware of the environment. So be observant. The power of observation, conversation, and interviews will give you the spark needed to enter the technology area where you have to survive and flourish. My sincere advice is, take an area which is interesting for you, where it is fun filled, so that the fire is always lit and kept alive. Otherwise, it dies down. So it is only the fun element which is going to help you propel forward.
So, before we wrap up, can you share unwritten lessons for the students and the professionals that are watching?
One unwritten lesson which I would like to share with every one of you is that never give up in the face of adversity. Never ever give up. If you have faith in you, have that self-belief, have that self-motivation, there will be times which will try and test you to the limits. Never give up. That is my only advice.
Thanks for sharing your heart and wisdom with us, sir. It will definitely leave an impact on us. Thanks for joining us on Yantriksha X Hub present Unwritten Lessons. Until next, keep innovating, hustling, and learning.